Hello, children. How are you all? I hope you all are good and taking care of yourself and your family from this pandemic situation. Children, I request you to pray every day from God so that we will overcome from this situation as soon as possible. So, children, my name is Priyanka Gaigavli and I am your maths teacher. Today, I am here with you with a new topic, a new chapter, lines and angles. We are going to study the part 1 of this chapter in this video. So, let's start. Before we start the chapter, we should know what are the objectives behind learning the chapter. So, the first objective is identify different types of angles. You should be able to identify different types of angles. You will be able to categorize what type of angle it is. Then you will learn the lines and the pair of lines. It means you will be able to describe what kind of line and what are the pair of lines in that. Then we will learn the parallel lines. We will identify are the lines parallel or not, or what are the criteria to find out the parallel lines. So the content of the chapter is, the first one is your introduction. The second topic we will learn is related angle. Third, we will learn the pair of lines, and the fourth last topic we will learn checking for parallel lines. So let's start our chapter with introduction. In introduction part, we will learn the point, the line segment, ray and angle. Children, I hope that you people have learned these concepts in your class 6 also. So we will have a quick revise or recap of this points in this chapter, and then we will further move to the main topic of the chapter. So let's start. Suppose a man is standing at this point, let's say A. The man started walking from this point and stopped at another point, let's call it point B. So we have the starting point A and the ending point B. The distance between these 2 points is called the line segment, and the length of this line can be measured easily. Hence, AB is a line segment that has 2 endpoints, or we can say it is a link between 2 points. Also, there are many more points lies on a line. We can also say a line segment is a collection of points. And the line segment AB is by the line over the top of the letter AB like this. Now, if we extend this line indefinitely in one direction, we get a ray. So, a ray starts at a point A and it can be continuous to infinity, as this ray can be extended in either of the direction of a line segment. We put an arrow on one of its ends. Here we have a ray AC and it is denoted by the single arrowhead over the top of the letter. Now, if we extend the line indefinitely from this point in opposite direction, we get a line. So, we can say a line has no endpoint and it can be extended in both the directions. Here, we can say DC is a line and it is denoted as the line of double arrow over the top of the letter. Now, let's plot a point here, and if we draw 2 rays with the same point in different directions, then we get an angle. So, we can say a figure having 2 rays and one common point is called the vertex of an angle. Now children, can you name the angle formed in this figure? The angle formed in this figure is called angle CAD or angle DAC. This is the way we denote a particular angle. So children, what we have seen is a point is an exact location or position of a particular object. It denotes the definite position of a particular thing. Next, we have seen that when we join these points and we continues these points in both the direction, we will get a line and it will be a straight line. Then we have seen that when we join two points, then we get a line segment which has a fixed length and we can measure this length easily. Then we have seen a ray. Ray is a part of a line. It means if we extend the line in only one direction without ending, we will get a ray. The best example for ray is your sunlight. Then we have seen the angle. Angle is formed when two rays join at a particular point, and that particular point is called the vertex. It means the two rays share up one end point, and that end point is called the vertex of the angle. So children, this was a quick recap of your previous classes. Now we will see the main topic of the chapter, which is the related angles or the pair of angles. So the pair of angles we have is first complementary angle, then supplementary angle, then we have adjacent angle, then linear pair angle, and the last we will learn vertically opposite angle. Now what are all these angles? We will see one by one in this video. So first is complementary angles. In this pair of angle, when the sum of the measure of two angle is 90 degree, these angles are called complementary angles. As children, you can see in the picture, angle 30 and angle 60 is given. If we add both these angles, we will get the sum 90 degree. And such type of angles are called complementary angle. Here we can say 60 degree is complementary for angle 30 and 30 degree is complementary angle for angle 60. For example, in this figure also you can see the two angles sharing a common vertex, and 60 plus 30 will give you 90 degree. So these angles are also called complementary angle. It doesn't matter that the angle should be separate. If they are sharing a common vertex but their sum is 90 degree, then these angles are called complementary angles. Now, how to find the complementary angle when another angle is given? In the figure you can see the angle 62 is given and another angle, its complementary angle is angle x. So we need to find the angle x. So how we are going to find? We will subtract angle 62 degree from 90 degree. So we will get angle x because the sum of the two angle is 90 degree, and if we subtract one angle from 90 degree, we will get the another angle. Hence the missing angle will be equals to 28 degree. I hope children you have understood how to find the complementary angle by this method. Now next angle is our supplementary angle. Supplementary angle are those angles whose sum of the measure of two angles is 180 degree. So in the same way, like we have seen complementary angles, supplementary angles also have the sum of equals to 180 degree. In the figure you can see 120 degree and angle 60 degree. If we add both these angles, the sum will be equals to 180 degree. So these angles are supplementary to each other. For example, in this figure also 120 degree and 60 degree are sharing a common vertex and their sum will be 180 degree. So we can say both these angles are supplementary angles, or we can say the pair of angle is supplementary angles. Now in the same way, finding the supplementary angle when another angle is given. As we know, supplementary angles, there some will be 180 degree. So if one angle is given 77 degree and another angle we need to find, that is y, so we have to subtract the 77 degree from 180 degree, so that we will get the another angle, that is 103 degree. Now we have the next angle, that is adjacent angle. In this pair of angle, adjacent angles have a common vertex and a common arm. As you can see in this picture, this is a picture of a steering wheel of a car and a picture of a book. Now in steering wheel picture, you can see the three angles are there, A, B and C. All these three angles are sharing a common vertex, the center. And in this picture of a book, you can see the angle P and the another angle is sharing a common vertex and also a common arm. So such type of angles are called adjacent angles. The angles who share a common vertex and a common arm are called adjacent angles. For example, in this figure, you can see angle ABD and angle CBD. Both are adjacent angle. Why? Because they are sharing a common vertex, that is point B. B is the common vertex for both the angle, and also they are sharing a common side, that is BD. So these type of angles are called adjacent angles. They are adjacent means they are next to each other. They have a common vertex and a common side. Now in this figure, we can conclude that adjacent angles have common vertex, common side and no overlap of angles. Children, here the most important point, the angles should not overlap each other. In further example of in this video, we will see that what is the overlapping of angles, and such angles will not called adjacent angle. So in this figure, you can see this angle as well as this angle. Both are separate and they are not overlapping each other. Hence, we can say the angle COB and BOA are adjacent. Now children, let's take an example. In this figure, can you tell that these angles are adjacent to each other? These angles means angle COA and angle BOA. No, because the angles are overlapping to each other. That's why they are not adjacent. Since in this figure you can see angle COA, this angle is completely overlapping this another angle, that is BOA. It means it is hiding this angle, or we can say angle BOA is coming inside the angle COA. Hence, we cannot call these angles adjacent angles. Now let's take another example. Now children, in this figure, can you tell that these angles are adjacent to each other? These angles means angle COD and angle BOA. No, because in this figure angle COD and angle BOA are not sharing a common side. Hence, these angles are not adjacent angles. Now, let's take the another example. In this figure, can you tell that these angles are adjacent to each other? No, because angle DOC and angle COA are not sharing a common vertex. Hence, we cannot say that these angles are adjacent to each other. Now children, I hope you have understood the adjacent angle should have a common vertex, should have a common side, and there should be no overlapping of angles. Overlapping means the angle should not hide each other, or any of the angle should not be inside the other angle. So in this last example of adjacent angle, we can see that angle AOC and angle COB are adjacent angles. Why? Because the first thing, the angles have a common vertex O. You can see the angles have a common vertex. These two angles, this angle 1 and angle 2, these both angles are sharing a common vertex, that is O. Second, that angles have a common side. In this figure we can see these angles having a common side OC. OC is a common side for these 1 and 2 angle. And the third point is there is no overlap of angle. Yes, the angles are separated and no angle is hiding the other angle. Hence, all the three properties of adjacent angles are satisfied here. So, these angles are adjacent angles. Next we have the linear pair angles. Now children, what is a linear pair? A linear pair is a pair of adjacent angles whose non-common sides are opposite ray. See children, just understand this definition carefully, that a linear pair is a pair of adjacent angles. Here you can see angle 1 and angle 2. Both these angles are adjacent angles. Yes, why? Because they are sharing this common point, that is common vertex, and they are sharing this common side also. And both the angles are separated. So they are adjacent. And also, the most important thing in linear pair is that the non-common sides are opposite ray. The non-common sides, what are the non-common sides? This is the non-common side and this is the non-common side. Hence, these two are the non-common sides and these two are exactly the opposite to each other. Therefore, such type of angles are called linear pair angle. In this figure, you can also see the non-common sides are the opposite rays and they are making an angle of 180 degree. So, these are called the linear pair angles. Now, children, let's take an example. In this figure you can see the two angles, one is 40 degree and another is 140 degree. When we add these two angles we will get the sum 180 degree. And also these two angles are sharing a common vertex and also a common side, and their non-common sides are making an angle of 180 degree. So definitely these angles are linear pair angles. Now in this another example you can see this angle 1 and angle 2. This both the angle is making a straight angle which is of 180 degree, and this angle 3 and angle 2, again this angle are making a straight complete angle which is also 180 degree. Then the next is angle 3, means this angle, and angle 4, this angle. This is also making a complete 180 degree, and angle 4 and angle 1 also making a complete 180 degree. And also these angles who are making complete 180 degree, they are sharing a common vertex, that is center O. And these linear pair angles are sharing a common vertex, that is angle 1. If we talk about angle 1 and angle 2, angle 1 and 2 both are sharing a common vertex, that is this point O, and they have a common side, that is this one OA, and their non-common sides means this side and this side are the exactly opposite rays, and both these angles when we add we are getting a straight angle which is 180 degree. Hence this angle are also called linear pair angles. Now in this figure, you can see this angle 1 and angle 2. Both are having a common vertex, that is O, and they are sharing a common side, this OB. But their non-common side, the most important thing of this angles, linear pair angle, is their non-common side. Means this is the non-common side for this angle, angle 1, and this is the non-common side for angle 2. They are not forming a straight line, means they are not forming a 180-degree angle. So non-common side of 1 and 2 do not form a straight line, so they are not a linear pair angles. So children, we have learned that in a linear pair angle there are two angles. There will be two angles always who have a common vertex, a common side, and their non-common side make a straight line, or the sum of the angle will be 180 degree. Now the last pair of angle is vertically opposite angle. What is vertically opposite angles? So you can see the picture of a scissor where it's look like a shape of a cross like this. Okay, and when these two lines, these are two lines, and when these two lines intersect means they are cutting each other at this point. Yes, and this point, when they are cutting, they are making some angles like this: angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, and angle 4. So these angles, angle 1 and angle 2, are called vertically opposite angle 1 and angle 2. So these angles are called vertically opposite angle. Also angle 3 and angle 4 are called vertically opposite angles. So children, by this figure you can see angle 1 and angle 2 are vertically opposite angle because they have a common vertex, first thing, and they are opposite to each other. They are exactly opposite to each other. Also we can say that these vertical angles means angle 1 and angle 2 will be equal. Always when two lines intersect at a particular point, the angle formed, the opposite angles always will be equal to each other. Now from this figure also you can see angle 1 and angle 3. Angle 1, this angle, and angle 3, this angle, are vertically opposite to each other. So we can say angle 1 and angle 3 will be equal, and also angle 2 and angle 4 will be equal because they are also vertically opposite angles. So children, how do we find the another vertically opposite angle if one angle is already given? Now suppose we have to find angle 2, 3 and 4, and only angle 1 is given, which is 30 degrees. So how we will find rest of the three angle? So let's see children, angle 1 is equals to angle 3. Why? Because it is a vertically opposite angle. Also, if angle 1 is equals to angle 3, so angle 3 will be equals to 30 degree because angle 1 is 30 degree and both the angle are equal. So obviously angle 3 will be equals to 30 degree. Now angle 1 and angle 2, both these angles are forming a linear pair angle, and we know the sum of the linear pair angle is 180 degree. So if angle 1 is 30 degrees, so angle 2 will be 180 minus 30 degree. So angle 2 will be equals to 150 degree. And since angle 2 is vertically opposite to angle 4, so definitely angle 4 is also be equals to 150 degree because angle 2 and angle 4 are equal because they are vertically opposite angles. So I hope children you have understood how to find the angles if they are vertically opposite to each other and only one angle is given. So that's all for today, children. In our next video, that is the part 2 of this chapter, we will start exercise 5.1, and I hope you have understood all the concepts of the pair of angles. So stay safe and take care of yourself.